What's up, friends and car lovers? It's Drake from Car Show Life here on the floor of the David L. Lawrence Convention Center in downtown Pittsburgh for the 62nd annual Maxwell Motive World of Wheels. We're going to take you on a tour of some of the great customs, classics, and clubs here in 2023. Now, the World of Wheels is part of the Autorama Cavalcade of Customs circuit. And these are the cars that started it all. These 50s and 60s custom cars, lead sleds, lowriders, hot rods. This is what the car hobby we know today came from. Well, Max Motive is a classic car showroom here in Cheswick, Pennsylvania. And they also have a showroom down in Florida. And they offer a ton of classic cars for sale, and they are the title sponsor for this event. They have been for several years now, and these are some of the beautiful cars they have on display. They're either for sale on consignment or they are part of the Maxwell family collection. Here are two vehicles you might recognize from TV's Bitchin' Rides. They were built for the Maxwells by Dave Kindig and the team at Kindig Design. This is Heb Mueller. And this is Bitchin' Barn Door, the 53 Volkswagen bus. It's part of a collection of Volkswagens on display here at World of Wheels, including a Car Show Life client. Here's Charlie Sorcy's custom Beetle that's been front engine swapped. We created this for him in 2022 after meeting Charlie at the Cavalcade of Cars in Hamburg, New York. Purnell Spawn creates some awesome resto mods, mostly based on C4, C5, and C6 Corvettes. But the car that impressed me most at this show is this international travelall that has been lowered onto a late model Chevy Silverado Duramax. The vehicle was stretched about 12 inches at the driver's door and widened a bit to accommodate the larger chassis of the Chevy. He found the Silverado wrecked with only 200 and some miles on the clock. So all of the drivetrain, suspension, and chassis components were already tightened to factory spec. There was no reason to touch anything. So they just modified the travelall body in order to accommodate the larger Chevy frame. The owner intends to drive this on a regular basis. And why wouldn't you? During Thursday load-in, I immediately noticed this 1979 Cutlass built by Han Auto Restorations. This car has been massaged completely. It has a custom fabricated chassis and was intended to have a custom interior. However, the owner fell ill, and in order to save time and get the restoration done, they used the original interior with the exception of an added center console. It includes push to start, touchscreen infotainment system, new Dakota gauges. They also shaved the trunk keyhole, and this is the actuator for the rear deck lid. Kindig Design door handles, and these custom wheels, painted body color, sort of resemble the original Steelies with the trim ring that would have accompanied the car in its original state. But these tucked bumpers were the signature that drew me in. Also, custom Oldsmobile logoed side markers front and rear. An LS swap with custom intake plumbing that goes into the fenders, and a completely smoothed out firewall. Wilwood disc brakes on all four corners. It retains its original vinyl Landau top and T-tops. A completely finished trunk. The bumper work also required custom crush panels. They had to fill in all of this stuff to accommodate the new bumper structure. But overall, the body maintains its original lines. But because those bumpers are so well tucked in, it really changes the profile of the car. Another Car Show Life customer is Anton's Hot Rod Shop from Hiram, Ohio. He built this 1934 Plymouth Business Coupe for Pat Tarosky of Wisconsin to be her daily driver at her winter home in Florida. It's equipped with a custom-built chassis And because a lot of these 1930s cars had a lot of wood structure, he's reinforced the body with a custom roll cage that's integrated inside. And it hides in plain sight in this beautifully appointed interior with leather by Apex Leather. A modern 5.7 Hemi provides the power, and it's backed by a custom-built Gearstar transmission. Art Morrison provides suspension components, and Pat will ride comfortably with vintage air. The hubcaps were 3D printed, complete with the Mayflower logo Plymouth used to use up until the 1960s. One of my favorite builds on the floor at the World of Wheels in Pittsburgh in 2023 is this Chevy C10 by Creative Rod and Custom. It's a 1968 short bed C10 with a 1967 front end, and they've shaved the side markers from the 68. They also made the engine compartment look like a modern pickup truck, complete with an SLP supercharged LS motor, wheelwood disc brakes. They've also done an awesome custom interior and dash. This build is called Patriot because the owner owned Patriot Chevrolet. 2023 World of Wheels in Pittsburgh also marked the homecoming of the 2022 Riddler Award. Showbird, built by ProComp Custom of Glenshaw, PA. This car won the top hot rod building prize at the Detroit Autorama in 2022. It's owned by a couple from Bellefonte, Pennsylvania, Rick and Patty Bird, hence the Showbird name. And there it is, the Detroit Autorama Riddler Award. Well, custom cars are the focus of the World of Wheels, but classic cars and period-correct restorations also make up a huge amount of the exhibits on the show floor. Ron Liebert brought his 1970 Chevy Camaro SS 396 equipped with the L78 option, which is the big block 396, putting out 375 horsepower, 11-to-1 compression, Holley 780 carburetor, Winters aluminum intake from the factory, and solid lifters. It's one of 600 ever built in 1970. The restoration was judged by the American Camaro Association in 2022, and it received a Legends Platinum Award at the Camaro Nationals in 2022. In addition, he's also a Car Show Life customer, and we appreciated the opportunity to tell the story of his ride, especially a second-gen Camaro, which is very close to my heart because I was brought home from the hospital in a 71 Rally Sport. And it's all about the details, including the tag on how to operate the ignition switch. And there's that Body by Fisher carriage right at the rear. I would step over that logo as a little 3-year-old to get into my car seat. This 1966 Hemi Plymouth Satellite is an ISCA restored champion. The ISCA is the International Show Car Association, which is the sanctioning body that judges these cars. It's one of only 283 66 satellites with a Hemi engine and TorqueFlite automatic transmission. Now, in addition to custom cars and classics, clubs make up a lot of the displays here on the show floor. It's the first chance for a lot of folks to get out and enjoy their cars since the fall. Berg Built is one of the largest growing car clubs in the area. They brought 25 club members to the show this year. And they come from all segments of the car hobby, from import tuners to classic American muscle to SUVs and pickup trucks. There's even a Corvette and a rear-wheel drive Chevy Cobalt. United Race Corvette Club is here with several generations of Corvette, including this C1 owned by Gil Berry of Jefferson Hills, and he ended up being a Steel City 6 contender with this gorgeous 1960 Corvette. The cars have classic wheels and wicked rides. Also, Car Show Life customers. the Greater Pittsburgh GTO Car Club. And while not necessarily a club, Pittsburgh International Dragway brought a contingent of drag cars, including some period cars like the original Grumpy's Toy, Bill Grumpy Jenkins 68 Camaro. And that's going to do it for this edition of Car Show Life from the 62nd Annual Max Motive World of Wheels in Pittsburgh. Keep following us online at Car Show Life, back in Hood Up on Facebook and Instagram, and on YouTube here at Car Show Life. And of course, check out our custom car show board designs at carshowlife.com. I'm Drake Donovan. Keep living that Car Show Life, back in Hood Up.